All right, fellas. Well, the Saints did something that we're not really accustomed to seeing at this point, and they won a football game. They won 27-20 against the Los Angeles Rams, which is always fun to see. Fuck the Rams. We have a long bad history with them, and to see us effectively, I mean, in their division, this could be the straw that broke the camel's back for their playoff hopes. Like, they're not, the NFC West is not an easy place to play. They have the 49ers ahead of them. They have the Seahawks ahead of them. They're like last in their division, and this might be it for them. But obviously, you can't say anything too soon. The Saints improved to 4-7, while the Rams fall to 3-7. Sorry for the lack of videos lately. Bunch of shit going on. I'm not really gonna get too deep into it, but I just want to let you guys know that this is a really big adjustment season for me, and I mean the Saints as well. So I mean, I'm not missing too much. You guys aren't missing too much, but I'm just trying to get used to everything, and it's been proving difficult. But I will be posting recaps, and I'll try to get more videos out during the week. This week will be an exception. I have to go to my grandparents' house. My grandpa's in the hospital, so I will be spending the week up there. And yeah, we'll go from there. December, I'll be posting more. Hopefully, the Saints are able to go on a run and try to at least make things somewhat interesting down the stretch, and maybe squeeze into some type of playoff conversation there. So let's talk about the game. Andy Dalton played a hyper-efficient game. He was 21 for 25 passing, 260 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, don't take hyper-efficient as he played a fantastic game. I don't really think Andy Dalton is much more than a game manager still. I don't think I'll ever see him as more than a game manager. If my mic was like puffy just now, I'm sorry. I just turned it down a bit. I seen it was redlining. So if it sounds bad for the first minute, I apologize. But Andy Dalton, like I said, hyper-efficient game, but that doesn't really mean that he played a great one. One play that will haunt me for the rest of my life was that trick play, the wildcat direct snap to Alvin Kamara. A couple of passes here and there. Andy Dalton got the ball back. He had an opportunity to sling it. Alvin Kamara was wide open. Dude got scared. He looked like a deer in headlights. And when you're a veteran, it's like, aren't you used to the pressure by now? Like, aren't you used to, having people like rushing down your throat? But it is what it is. He missed that. Followed it up with what seemed like a lucky Chris Olave 53-yard touchdown. Chris Olave masterclass today. We'll talk more about that. But Andy Dalton did come back. The thing with him is I don't really enjoy how quick he makes his decisions. Now, this is the exact opposite gripe I had with Jameis Winston. I thought Jameis Winston was too slow in making his decisions, like overly slow. Andy Dalton is overly fast. Like, incomplete pass on first down, 1-yard run on 2nd and 10, 3rd and 9. This is a situation we see at least 5 or 6 times a game. Andy Dalton immediately throws to the first person he sees, which is 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. If you want to pick up a 3rd down on 3rd and long, why the hell are you throwing tight end screens on 3rd and 9? And it's not even like designed tight end screens, bro. That's how shallow the targets are when he throws to them. He gives the plays no time to develop on 3rd and long, and that's something I've noticed. I'm sure you guys have too. I don't really like it. Hopefully they clean that up because it is quite frustrating. I liked a lot how much Pete Carmichael got Taysom Hill involved in this game. 9 carries for 52 yards, but it's like the second drive of the game, every single play, the second drive only resulted in a field goal, but every single play that happened, Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill, Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill. Like, they were really, really, really good with switching Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill and having a balanced dual threat quarterback combo, which is something you're not going to see anywhere else in the league. And that kept the Rams defense on their toes. They had no idea how to contain or react to that. And I think the Saints down the stretch can use that to their advantage. Taysom Hill threw 3 passes. He only completed one of them, but that was a 14-yard strike. And it shows that when he's there, it's not just, is he going to run the ball? Is it going to be a delayed run? Is it going to be a handoff? Is he going to throw it? There's 3 dimensions to Taysom Hill coming in between snaps. And that's really, really, really nice to see. Alvin Kamara had a good game. He had 12 carries for 42 yards. He also had 4 receptions for 47 yards and became only the second player in Saints history to have 9,000 all-purpose yards, which is pretty dope behind, of course, Marquise Colston. So that's pretty dope. Marcus Colson. I'm sorry. I've been calling him Marquise Colson my entire life. I don't know why. I can't ever get his name right, which is so weird because he's a Saints legend, but, it is what it is. Matt Stafford went out a little bit through this game. A lot of people are probably pointing to that as the reason the Saints won, but we dominated the entirety of the game, honestly. We went into halftime down 4, but even when Matthew Stafford was still out there, the Saints were absolutely having their way. They were running the ball efficiently. They were passing well. They did not have, any penalties, bro. I think we had, one single penalty or maybe, 2, but, other than that, we played so well. Our penalties were down, way, way down from the Pittsburgh game where we had 10. No turnovers whatsoever. We didn't throw a pick. We didn't fumble. We were protecting the quarterbacks well, and it's just bruh, it's ridiculous. And seeing how we modeled winning football and actually won a game, it's dude, if you do this shit every week, you're not really going to be losing. We were good on third down. We were not committing penalties. We weren't turning the ball over. Those are the 3 major things you need to do to win a game, and that's exactly what we did. So the score was 27-20, but I feel like the Saints dominated this game, time in, time out. 31 minutes, we won the time of possession battle, picked up more first downs, had less total yardage, but was more effective when we were out on the field. Chris Olave had 5 receptions for 102 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown being a 53-yard bomb. It's so good to see that because there's so many times where I've seen Chris Olave wide open down the field just getting missed, whether it be Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, or Andy Dalton. He's always getting missed, but it finally hit. It finally hit. Juwan Johnson also had a really good game with 3 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. He's been sneaky good this season. He's been really good on the receiving end, even though he's a tight end. And he's a very good blocker as well, someone that needs to be signed to a contract extension. Jarvis Landry, on his second game back, had 3 receptions for 33 yards and a touchdown. He played great as well. There's not really much to say else about this game. I like how the Saints played. The Rams obviously wanted to win this game really badly. They were going for it on 4th down every time they had the opportunity. But the Saints were not having that shit, and we won. 4-7. We're not out of it. We have not been eliminated from playoff contention yet, but we just have to see how the rest of this year plays out. The Saints want to be 500. They have to rattle a few off and get back into the hunt, but until then, we're just going to have to keep taking it game by game and watching the Saints play. Just hope for the best, but assume the worst at this point in time. It is nice seeing us win football games, though. Hopefully we can keep it up. We play the 49ers in San Francisco next week, so that is a tough challenge. Andy Dalton versus Jimmy Garoppolo, the biggest mid-off of the century. That is straight ass. That is the worst QB versus QB thing I've ever seen. But then we play the Bucs, and then we finally have a bye week, so hopefully next week we'll have Marshon Lattimore and Cameron Jordan back. But if Marshon Lattimore isn't back by next week, expect him back after the bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios.